Oh. How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we studied Daf Lamed Hey, Daf 35, Masechta Nazir, friends. Well, Daf 35 is Gevaldig L'maaseh. What do you want me to tell you? Daf 35, we continue talking about Klal Ufrat Uchlal, or Prat Uchlal Ufrat, or both, or Prat Uchlal, or Ribui Miut. Some really interesting stuff. I mean, it gets into like how do Klal Ufrat Uchlal's work, or Prat Uchlal Ufrat, and what's the difference between them. I mean, it's kind of interesting stuff because this is like Yud Gimel Midos, Shator Nejeshes, but it's just cool to, kind of get a little bit of explanation of how this stuff works. So, friends, without further ado. Okay, we're going to start on Lamed Hey, Amud Aleph, all the way at the top, the last word of the first line. Ulrib Elazar ben Azariah de Kamukim U Babel Yod. Alright, let's do it again. Ulrib Elazar ben Azariah de Kamukim Lehai Mechartzanim Ve'adzog Lomer She'enu Chayav Ad Sheyochel Beis Chartzanim V'zog Parta Mino Lei. Friends, what does that mean? What it means is, in the Mishnah, Elazar ben Azariah had said that if you're going to be eating, if a Nazir is going to eat pits and peels, he's only chayav if he eats 2 peels in a pit. No, fakir. 2 pits in a peel. Chatzanim ve'adzog. 2 pits in a peel. So, Elazar ben Azariah learns out from Mechatzanim ve'adzog that he has to eat 2 pits in a peel. Well, if that's the case, then, okay, there's some sunflower people outside. Anyways, So for Elazar ben Azariah, he's using Mechatzanim ve'adzog to teach 2 pits in a peel. So then, where's his final prat, right? Because according to the rabbis, prat uchlal ufrat. The first prat was yain v'shecher, and then there was v'chol asher yosei migefen yain is the klal, and then it says Mechatzanim ve'adzog is the second prat. But if Elazar ben Azariah is using Mechatzanim ve'adzog to teach 2 pits in a peel, then where's the second prat? Wow, this is Gemara. I know I'm saying it every day now, but like, friends, we haven't had Gemaras like this in ages. I'm sorry, I'm a little excited. Elazar ben Azariah the Kamukim. The hard thing though about these Gemaras is that they're really, by the way, this is only the beginning of it. The next few days there's going to be some serious sugyas. The thing is, I don't really know how to learn them because I don't have Rashi. Okay, whatever. Elazar ben Azariah the Kamukim lahem mechatzanim ve'adzog lo meshenu chayav at shulcha beis chatzanim ve'zog. So according to Elazar ben Azariah, who learns mechatzanim ve'adzog to teach 2 pits in a peel, parta minole. Where does he get the second prat? We only have a prat uchlal. What about the prat uchlal ufrat? Sarvela Rabbi Eliezer tidarish mi'et v'riba. Well, Elazar ben Azariah holds like Rabbi Eliezer. By the way, the article for some reason has a girsa Rabbi Elazar. I have a girsa Maikamar Rabbi Eliezer, so I'm just going to go with what I have. Rabbi Eliezer didarish mi'et v'riba. So Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah holds like Rabbi Eliezer, who holds mi'et v'riba, that it says yain v'sheichar is a miut, and then mikol asher yosim gefen yain is a riboy, and riba hakol, it includes everything, including the shoots and the leaves. V'ba'isema, where am I? Savalik Rabbi Eliezer didarish mi'et v'riba. Fine. V'ba'isema, alternatively k'rabbanon. Or you could say Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah holds like the Rabbanon, prat uchlal ufrat. The Isakadaitich Chidam Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, and if it enters your mind to say that when it says Mechatzanim ve'adzog, it means only, like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah said, only 2 pits in a peel, but it has nothing to do with the prat uchlal ufrat. Lichtevei rachmano l'hai Mechatzanim ve'adzog gabe parte. If all it wanted to teach us was that it needs to be 2 pits in a peel, well then that could have been written with the yain v'sheichar, with the other prats. Right. How come the Torah went out of its way to order these details in a prat uchlal ufrat manner, and not just have all the prats followed by a klal, but specifically the Torah said prat uchlal ufrat shmamina l'midaine bichlal ufrat, means that specifically the Torah wanted it to be understood as prat uchlal ufrat. Ve'ema kule lachi hu de'asa. But now maybe I'll say, you know what, Rabbi Elazar, just ditch your theory about 2 pits in a peel, right? Just say the Torah specifically laid out these halachis as a prat uchlal ufrat. Just teach me prat uchlal ufrat. Forget about the 2 pits in a peel business. Well, Rabbi Elazar said, Ben Nazir says, I can't just leave it alone. Because if there was nothing deeper over here, it would have just said Chaitzanim and Zogim, or Chaitzin v'Zog. How come the Torah specifically said 2 pits and a peel? It must be it must be teaching us both in Yonim. Excuse me, I have a book over here with neither of these are helping. I had a book and there was like a fellow on the front cover, and it just felt like he was looking at me, so I flipped it over, but then there's the author on the back cover. So now I just put something on top of that. Anyways, so now, Babylon. Where were we? So it says Rabbi Elazar ben Nazir, look, the Torah is davka teaching us 2 things. It's laying it out as prat uchlal ufrat, to say, learn it as a prat uchlal ufrat, and also went out of its way to say, chartzanim ve'adzog, to teach 2 pits and a peel. Very, very beautiful stuff. Rabbi Eliezer Darish mi'ed v'riba prat uchlal ufrat minole, ho. So now, according to Rabbi Eliezer, who says that by a Nazir, when it says Yayin v'sheichar, and then it says Mikol Asher Yosim Migefna Yayin, so you have the riboy, the miut followed by a riboy. So then, where does Rabbi Eliezer have examples in the Torah of Prat Uchlal Ufrat? So Omer Ababou Nafkale Mehaikra. Well, in the following pasuk by Shomer Sacher, a paid custodian, V'chiyitein ish areu chomer o shor osei. If a fellow gives a donkey or an ox or a sheep to watch, so prat, those are specific, right? Donkey, ox, sheep. V'chol behemo, kolal. Okay, but any animal. Okay, well that's a general thing. Lishmor, specifically to watch. Chazar ufaret, that's the second prat. Prat uchlal ufrat. Yatadon elakena prat. Okay, so it's a prat uchlal ufrat, and therefore we're going to include things that are similar to the prat. Rava Amar Nafkale Mehaikra. Rava says we learn out by a pasuk in the context of Ola. Ve'im min, and if from, which is limiting prat. Hatzon, the flock, klal, that includes all these animals. Ksavim ve'izim, sheep and goats. Chazar ufarat, prat uchlal ufrat. Yatadon ela kein aprat. So when you have a prat uchlal ufrat, you treat it like the prat. Amalei reviewed me discarded the Rava. Now reviewed me discarded says to Rava, v'leilif min adeinkra. Why don't you learn it out from an earlier pasuk in the context of Ola? Min prat habehema kolal bakar vatzon chazu farat. Right. So min from is a limiting thing. It's a prat. Habehema the animals. So that's a general thing. Bakar vatzon cattle and sheep chazu farat. Prat uchlal ufrat yatadon ela keina prat. So we see it's prat uchlal ufrat. Amalei Rava responds to Rabbi Yudami Deskarta, min hai lek lamashma mina. No, you can't learn out prat uchlal ufrat from there. The me hosam havamina behema chaye bechlal behema. Well, because if we would have, if we learn it out from that pasuk, right, min ha behema bakar vatzon. So I would think havamina ha behema chaye bechlal behema. I would think that ha behema includes even wild animals, which would mean that the first prat of min wouldn't be able to exclude everything, because I would say that it only excludes, the chayas or the behemoths, or some of the chayas, some of the behemoths, right? We need something like the pasuk that Rava brought, which is hatzon, the flock. And if you're saying that we're limiting that, what's limiting the flock? Limiting it to nothing. But then we have the second prat to say, well, actually it's everything like the prat. So therefore, Rava says we can't learn out from your pasuk, Rav Yehuda Midaskarta, because ha-behema could include chaya, which would mean that the first limitation wouldn't actually have to be limiting everything. It could just be limiting either the animals or the chayas, or some of the chayas, some of the behemoths. Amarle, to which Rav Yehuda Midaskarta responds, chaya bechlal behema. Why would I think that chaya would be included behema? Ksiv bakar vatzon. The second prat is specifically bakar vatzon, behemoths. Behavale pratu chlal. Ufrat v'yatadon elakena prat, and therefore Rav Yehuda Midaskarta says no. I have no problem learning it out from that second pasuk of ve'im habehema. Where is that? Ve'im min habehema min abakar min atzon tarkivu es korbanchem. That is specific. That is a prat uchlal ufrat, and I wouldn't think that the behema includes chayes. It's all just behemas and therefore it says that could also be a source for prat uchlal ufrat, according to Rabbi Eliezer. So now that we've found other places where Rabbi Eliezer can learn prat uchlal ufrat, now we're going to get into some of the details about how prat uchlal ufrat works, and klal ufrat uchlal, and prat uchlal, and klal ufrat, and all these inyonim. Ribu yemiu tishtikol. So uminola and dahachi hu. No, so how does this klal ufrat stuff works? So the Tanya, we learn in the Brayso, v'nasata akesef, it says by Meiser Sheni that you'll take the money and you'll bring it to Yerushalayim, whatever you want. Buy whatever you want with the money. When you get to Yerushalayim, call out. That's a klal. But then it says cattle, sheep, cattle, flock, wine, new wine, old wine, prat. So those are specific things, not just anything that you want. It's bakar, tzon, yain, shecher, prat. But then it says anything you might possibly want. So we have a klal, and then a prat, and then a klal. So in this case as well, when you have a klal ufrat uchlal, it's things that are similar to the prat. Ma prat mefarish primi privi gedule karka, just like the bakar, tzon, yain, shecher. These are fruits that come from fruits, right? Animals that are born from other animals, grapes that come from other grapes, i.e. from their seeds. So I've called primi privi gedule karka. So what you can spend your money on in Yerushalayim is things that come from other, fruits that come from other fruits, or they grow from the ground. Animals are considered, that they get their sustenance from the ground. Okay. So we see that oichit by, so we see that oichit by, so we see that oichet by klal ufrat uchlal, it includes everything that is similar to the prat. And the Gemara is going to ask soon, well then what's the difference between a prat uchlal ufrat and a klal ufrat uchlal, if in both cases we're including things that are similar to the prat. Michdei. Now, the Gemara says, let's see. Klal ufrat uchlal. So if you have a klal, ufrat uchlal, ke'en parta daininon. We say that when you have a klal ufrat uchlal, so we include anything similar to the prat. Well, klal basra my ahane. Well, then why do I need the second klal? Right? If we're saying that in a situation of klal ufrat uchlal, we include anything similar to the prat, well then why do I need the second klal? Just have klal ufrat. And they'll say that, so you have the general rule followed by the prat, and we're saying it means anything similar to the prat. Well, if we didn't have the second klal, then I wouldn't know to include all the things that are similar. If I just had a klal and then a prat, I would actually think that it's limited to only the prat. Therefore, I have the second klal to say, no, it's not limited to only the prat, it includes things that are similar to the prat. That's what the second klal comes to do, to open it up to things that are similar to the prat. Visu, prat, uchlal, ufrat. And more so, prat uchlal ufrat, we say that by prat uchlal ufrat, ti'ein aprat daininon, we treat it, we learn things that are similar to the prat. Well, if that's the case, prat basra mayahani. Why do I need the second prat? Right? Why don't we just say prat uchlal? So we have first the specific, the prat, and then the klal is coming to teach anything similar to the prat. Why do I then need that second prat? Ilav prata basra, if not for the second prat, have amin and isa klal musaf ala prat. Well, if I only had a prat uchlal, I would think that you have the specific and then the klal comes to include absolutely everything. Right? For example, in our case of Nazir, if we had yain v'sheichar, which is a prat, followed by mikol asher ye'osim migefen yain, so then that would be a klal. I would think that includes everything, including the grape, including the leaves and the shoots, like Rabbi Eliezer says. But we said no, it doesn't. It's klal. It's prat uchlal ufrat. Right. The second prat comes to teach us don't include absolutely everything, only things that are similar. Right. We said pre solis pre. Right. It includes immature grapes and wormy grapes, but it does not include shoots and leaves. So we see just a prat uchlal, that would come to include everything. But prat uchlal ufrat is what limits it to only things that are similar to the prat, right? So again, ahani ilab prata basra. If not for the second prat, if we only had prat uchlal, have amina naisa klal musaf ala prat, then I would think that the klal includes everything, right? So therefore, we have the second prat to say no, the klal doesn't include everything. It just it's opened up to things that are similar to the prat. So it's not only the prat, but it includes the prat and things that are similar. Umichte. Now the Gemara asks, train klale ufrata v'train prate v'chlala. We talked about klal ufrat uchlal, and we talked about prat uchlal ufrat ke'en prata dainina, and then we said that in both cases we include things that are similar to the prat. Well, if that's the case, ma'ika beinu uvenus, then what's the difference between a klal ufrat uchlal and a prat uchlal ufrat? It seems like they're both including things that are similar to the prat. Ika, so we say no, there's a difference. Dilutartin klale ufrata, when you have klal ufrat uklal, I'ika proto de domile afilu bechad sad marbinon. When you have klal ufrat uklal, and we say that it includes things that are similar to the prat, so when you have a klal ufrat uklal, even if the things that are similar are only similar in one way, that's enough. Whereas tre prate uchlale, prat uchlal ufrat, i'ika proto de domi mishnei tzadin marbinon bechad sad lo marbinon. When it comes to a prat uchlal ufrat, so then, when we say that it includes things that are similar to the prat, they have to be similar in two ways, not just similar in one way. Michdei prat uchlal naise klal musaf ala prat. So we had said that if you have a prat uchlal, so then the klal comes to include everything. So in our example, if we had yayin v'sheichar, and then we had mikol asher yasim megefen hayayin, that would come to include everything, including even the shoots and the leaves. It would include everything. But also, mi'ut v'riboy seems to be doing the same thing, that it includes everything. And in this case, if we understand the psukim as a mi'ut v'riboy, that yain v'sheichar is a mi'ut, and mikol asher yosim gefen yain is a riboy, it also includes everything. Ma'ika ben mi'ut v'riba the frat uchlal. So then, if that's the case, what's the difference between a mi'ut v'riboy or a prat uchlal? They both seem to be coming to include everything. So ika the ilu prat v'chlal marbinin afilu olin vilu lavin u'mi'ut v'riba lu lavin in olin lo. So the Gemara answers, no, there's a difference. That prat uchlal is more expansive, is more inclusive. That if you have if you understand the psukim as a prat uchlal, it would come to include everything, including the shoots and the leaves. Whereas if you learn it out as a mi'ut v'riboy, it would only come to include the shoots, but not the leaves, which of course is strange because yesterday we said that Rabbi Eliezer learns the psukim as a mi'ut v'riboy, and it includes and he includes the shoots and the leaves. So unclear exactly, but that's what the Gemara is saying over here. Friends, that was daf lamed hey of Masechta Nazir. I thought it was a pretty interesting daf. We talked about prat uchlal ufrat. We talked about where Rabbi Eliezer, who learns over here by Nazir mi'ut v'riba, how he learns out prat uchlal ufrat. We talked about the differences between prat uchlal, klal ufrat, and then klal ufrat uchlal, prat uchlal ufrat, all these kind of different constructs. I thought it was pretty interesting stuff. I hope you found it interesting as well. Peace out.